Hello everyone, how's everyone today? Welcome to Commercial Farming with the Dirt Road Farmer. Well, the big corn harvest has begun. Yeah. This is not our biggest field, but yeah, this is where it all begins. This is a good size field, make no mistake about that. But it's not our biggest field by no means. But anyway, it is the beginning of our corn harvest, and we've got 5 harvesters in this field, and we've got 2 trucks that's going to haul our corn to the farm silo. And yes, so we are off to a good start. Everything looks like it's going real well, and it shouldn't take us too awful long to get this field completed. So anyway, we're going to check back with these guys a little later. They're running a lands course, which means the pipe will be to the outside most of the time. And yeah, so anyway, we'll get back with them here in just a little bit. All right, well, this is our harvester's first round. As you can see, 5 harvesters take a pretty good swipe across here on one pass, and that's why I say it won't take long on this particular field to get it done whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and start offloading them. Keep in mind, I have no idea how much corn this farm is going to produce with all the fields that we have. I really don't know. So yeah, it could be anything, you know. I know it'll be at least 55 million liters. So and I do expect for it to exceed that. So yeah, we'll see. Let me turn on my HUD. Alright, I've got my cruise control set already. I wasn't sure that I did, but yeah, I've got it set. So we'll turn that back off. And that way we can set our cruise control and we won't have to worry about it. So how's everybody doing today? Well, in the last video I told you that we were expected to get a little more snow. Well, this is Missouri. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And you know, if you don't like the weather here, just stick around for 5 minutes and it'll change. Yes, I guarantee you. And that's exactly what we experienced during our snow that we got. It started out that day at about 45 degrees. And then the temperature started dropping, and we got just a little bit of rain as the temperature dropped to about 34. And then the snow came and the temperature stayed at 33 degrees, and it snowed. I mean, it snowed hard, real hard. But still, the temperature stayed at 33 degrees. Well, it snowed probably oh, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, real hard, and it didn't accumulate. The ground was too warm. It didn't stick. And then in about 3 hours later, when the snow quit, 3 hours from the time the snow quit, we were back up in the 50s. Yes. Like I said, if you don't like the Missouri weather, just stick around for, 5 minutes. It'll change. Yep, I guarantee you. All right. Well, we have completed our first round, and let's see how much we got. 344,000 off of that first round. So that's a good deal. That's a good deal, and we're off to a great start. So anyway, I don't think we'll empty right now. We'll let them go ahead and make this second round. Of course, they will have to compensate for the width of the field, so probably at least one harvester won't be harvesting anything or a piece of a row. So, but anyway, yes, let's go up and see if we can ride with one of the harvesters and see how they get along. All right, well, looks like we're doing great. Now, I did increase our ground speed in the field to 12 mile an hour. And you say, well, why would you do that? Well, first of all, in this field right here, it probably would not have made that much difference. But when we get into our big fields, like the one that's 7,000 acres, the other one's 5,000 acres, half of that 7,000 acres, that 3,500 acres, with the big grain head on, that's 12 hours of real time to get that field harvested. And these heads are much smaller. They're not near as wide as that big honeybee head. So it's probably going to take, running these 12 mile an hour, it's still probably going to take 13 and a half, maybe 14 hours to get that done. Yeah. So, and that's real time. Whenever I tell you this, I'm not kidding a bit. That is absolute real time. So, that's why I increased the speed. So, but anyway, they're getting along good. It won't be long before they'll be starting. Well, once they get this row here completed, then they'll start a new lands. And then each one of the harvesters will be taking a full row then. But this is how they compensate for the width of the field. And I know everybody's seen that before, but it's just nothing to hide. This is the way it is. So, but anyway, like I said, we're off to a great start. So we'll wait for these guys to get down here, and we'll get them emptied out again. All right. Well, we'll take our first load over to the grain trucks and yeah, let them haul it over to the silo. Like I said, it's kind of exciting because the corn season or the corn harvest has just begun. But at the same time, there's a whole lot of unknowns. How much corn are we actually going to generate? Yeah. that we're going to have to wait and see. Now, keep in mind that it's not all the fields that we have on this farm that are going to be planted in corn. Of course, we have the fields that we keep for our cows, the support for our cows. We have those small fields, but those really aren't the ones I'm talking about either. The 5,000 acres that we just got through harvesting, we did not plant that yet, but I do think we did plant 2,500 of it. I'm sorry. We did plant 25 acres, and we planted that in soybeans. And I think we will plant the second half in soybeans also, because for crop rotation, all these fields are going to get planted in soybeans also. So, all right, well, they're off. They'll go empty and come back, and we'll get them loaded up again. So we'll see you in just a few moments. All right, we're in our number 1 harvester, and as you can see, he is blazing the way, blazing the trail. This is actually the only time and the only harvester that you will not be able to access the pipe unless he gets loaded. Now, if he gets loaded while he's in a position to where you cannot access his pipe, then he'll stop and back up and pull over into the corn and put his pipe out where you can get into it without damaging your crop. So, but you know, with these big capacities that I have on these harvesters, they've not had to do that. So that's just the way it goes. We can access the pipes most anytime we want to. So, but anyway, you know, when I was young, you know, a lot of things took place. Some of them I can half remember, some of them I don't remember. But as they come to me, I like to discuss them with you. You know, we didn't know what cell phones were. Didn't even know what the word cell phone even meant. To us, our phone was free, and I say free, but it was given to us by the phone company, and our particular phone, it hung on the wall that joined the kitchen and the living room, kind of a central location in the house. Now, that phone, it had a rotary dial on it, and the way you dialed is you picked up the receiver, and of course you always, if you was going to dial long distance, which yeah, that took a family decision. If you was going to call somewhere that wasn't a free call, yeah, that took a family decision, because long distance calls were expensive. You know, that was extra money. So you didn't just pick up the phone and call somebody out of state or anything like that. Oh, no, you didn't do that. But anyway, after, you know, deciding that you're going to call someone, you would take your finger and you would put it in the hole on the number that you wanted to dial. and you would spin that rotary dial around until your finger stopped. Then you pulled your finger out of the hole and let that rotary go back. And then the next number you did the same. Okay? That was a rotary phone. That was our phone. Now, we were on what you call a party line. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with a party line. I'm sure that maybe some of you will be. You shared your phone line with other people. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we had 5 or 7 different other people that were on our same line. So what that meant was, when somebody tried to call you, you had a certain ringtone. In other words, it could be one long ring and 2 short rings. And if you heard that, then that was your number that they were trying to get a hold of. Now, if it was any other number, you let it just ring, because they weren't trying to call you, they were trying to call somebody else on your party line. Yeah. So, many times, and the reason that you always pick the phone up before you started, I mean, it's just normal, you'd pick a phone up and before you start dialing, but you wanted to make sure that nobody was already on the line. In other words, you could pick the phone up and somebody would already be on there talking. Well, if that was the case, then you quietly hung the phone up and you checked back later to see if the phone was free and you had a dial tone. If it was, then you could go ahead and make your call. But also what that meant is people would listen in on your phone calls. Oh yeah. That happened so many times. You know, now you could listen in on their phone calls if you chose to, but that come at a price of high repercussions for us. You know, you didn't do that. You didn't act like some other people did. You acted like you was supposed to in our family. You know, no. You didn't get caught doing that. But it also made it kind of hard if you had to make kind of a very important phone call. You know, like maybe an emergency phone call that you had to get a hold of somebody, maybe the police or the sheriff, somebody like that. Well, in that particular case, then you would pick the phone up and you would say, "Pardon me, excuse me, this is so-and-so, and I really need to make a very important phone call. Can I have the line?" And most of the time they would say, "Sure, no problem," and they would hang up. Then you could go ahead and make your call. But for the most part, you know, you treated it with respect. Everybody else was supposed to treat it with respect, which you know how that goes. 50% do and 50% don't care, you know, but that's life. That's the way it goes. But yeah, we didn't know what a cell phone was at all. Didn't even know the term cell phone. But that phone that was on the wall between the kitchen and the living room, it had a cord on it that once you answered the phone or was talking on the phone, you could pretty well walk anywhere in the house you wanted to with that big long cord, and I'll never forget that. But yeah. Anyway, I thought you may enjoy that. Some of you may have experienced party lines, and Some of you may not have ever heard of it, you know, but that's the way it was. So anyway, we're going to let these guys continue harvesting. This number one harvester is on his second pass of the second lands. And yes, it's not going to take long, and we will have this field harvested. So let's let them get on with their getting on, and we'll check back in with them here in just a little while. All right, well, we are getting right along. Yeah, we're well past half done. Actually, we're 3/4 of the way through this field. If we bring the HUD up, which we've got to wait for it to save. This is the field right here that we're working in, number 2. And here we are. They've started a new lands. So they'll complete this land, and then they'll end up completing right down here where my cursor's at. So yes, but anyway, yeah, we've come across this field pretty quickly. Like I said, by no means is this the biggest field. Let's go back into our HUD. And let's go down here and look. All 4 of these fields, or all 6 of these fields here, are bigger. Each one of them are bigger than the one that we're doing now. And then if we come over, well, let's go up here. These are bigger. And then if we go over to these, yeah, as you can tell, these are the big ones. I mean, huge, absolutely huge. So yes, it kind of dwarfs this one. A lot of corn's going to come off those fields, is all I got to say. A lot of corn. So anyway, I don't want to bore you with the rest of the harvest, because it's we're almost done. A couple more rounds and we'll be done. And we've got a whole lot more of it to do. A lot more. Also, this is corn, so there's an extra step involved here. Because it's corn, and because FS22 says we have to, when we get done mulching this, then we have to come in and plow it. Yeah. That's an extra step. So we will have to do that. It's going to take time, and but you know, that's the way it goes. So anyway, just a friendly reminder, if you've enjoyed this content, please go down there and hit that thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. And thank you to all of those that have. My likes are going up, and I really appreciate that. So thank you to those of you that have hit that thumbs up button. For those of you that have not, please do. It helps the algorithms of this channel. It helps get it out there where other people can see it. And you know, it means whether this channel stays on or it doesn't. Because, you know, if YouTube decides that it's, you know, not worth it, then you know the rest of the story. So, but anyway, I think we're going to call this a video. Like I said, please go down and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please do. If you want to get notifications whenever I post a new video, just go over and ring that bell. None of it costs you any money at all, but it does this channel a world of good. A world of good. So, anyway, we are going to call it a day. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching.